Top right-hand side in the red, also playing Protoss. It's the American player. His name is Astrea.
Astrea, arguably the best player in NA that's not called Canning right now. Been in insane form. We saw him on day one. He looked so good. But Asuna
tearing through TLO 2-0.
It's being cheeky.
Yeah, this is a very far forward pylon. Now, we've seen proxy Stargates from this location as well, but that seems unlikely.
Oh,
he is most likely going to drop a gateway there, yeah. Already going to be dropping that down. So, Grant, talk about what exactly you want to accomplish with this very far forward gateway.
I mean, this. Astrea is going Nexus first. Asuna's been doing some research because obviously he was expecting something like this to happen. The Gateway first is almost certainly going to be able to get a cancel here. We should see a Cybernetics core go down behind this. The probe, of course, coming into scout at a relatively normal time, maybe slightly off, may give Astrea something to think about here. But this is going to be so difficult for Astrea to hold. He doesn't even have a gateway. And the first Zealot is going to be coming across the map very, very soon. Or across the map, walking like 8 steps.
Yeah, take about 8 steps. This is an American Zealot. It doesn't do any exercise. It's just gonna walk a couple steps because it's already close to its destination. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Let's see if this Adept can, or this Zealot can get some work done here. The Cyber has gone down back home for Asuna, so we're gonna have to see if he gets an Adept after this to sort of do the follow-up. Usually goes Stalker after this, don't you, though, Grant?
Yeah, I would think so. Now, the first Zealot is out. Of course, there are no units out yet for our red Protoss player, and this Zealot is very, very scary. I really would have liked to have seen... he tried to go for it, but it was too late to go for the wall. And now this pylon's going to get worked away on. This is going to... Yeah, there's going to be a huge probe pool here. Meanwhile, of course, Asuna is mining fully efficiently. He is getting a Stalker to follow up. And Asuna is throwing down proxy batteries. He's going really all in with this.
This is fascinating. I haven't seen proxy batteries with just gateway units in a long time. And I really like what I'm seeing. One Zealot going across the map to try and maybe cause some pressure on Azuna's main. That's actually quite a smart play. There's no Forge or a cannon or anything, so I like that Astrea is trying to get one of those out. But Asuna being really cute here. And as you said, those shield batteries, a bit surprising. But also, I really like them. That's very cute.
Yeah, and now with the Stalker here and 2 Zealots firing upon this pylon, it's almost certainly going to go down. The Stalker may be mistargeting there, though. The Zealots, of course, will stay alive. Actually, is the Stalker mistargeting? I'm not really sure. Going for that back pylon may have been really smart, because the Zealots will run back up pretty soon. I mean, more and more units are coming. The Stargate is almost finished, and there's a Robo down in the main right now of Astrea. Asuna's got a build, man, and he is playing it very well.
Yeah, Astrea is, of course, moving into the main base right now with the Zealot. There's nothing back home for Asuna to defend against. There's the Zealot. Thank goodness. Okay, so he is just fine. Going to be able to chase that Zealot away. Won't lose a lot of pylons. And as you showed there, Void Ray on the way right now for Astrea. He's already got the shield batteries, or for Asuna, rather. Gosh dang it, I knew that was going to happen. Void Ray on the way for Asuna. He's already got those shield batteries down. And Astrea looks like he may be in some trouble here. Astrea has not dropped a map yet in DreamHack Fall. And Grant, Asuna's putting some real pressure on.
Yeah, I mean, this is now going to come down to control. 4 Stalkers are coming out. I think Astrea probably has some expectations of what the follow-up is. Proxy Robo with this many batteries is a thing, but it's not that big a thing. But I mean, this is going to stand here all day. You can't use the Stalker Astrea after Super Battery comes out. But that's a cooldown gone down now that, of course, Astrea doesn't want to have to use and now cannot use going forward. So I'd really like to see this pylon go down. I think, yeah, there we go. Well done, Asuna. He takes down this pylon, supply blocking Astrea. Warp gate finishes. If he can get this second pylon, that's powering everything. That's powering the gates. He can stop the warp if he targets the pylon.
That'd be so huge if he could grab that pylon. That'd be insane. He's going to try and get it, but I think Astrea realizing here, wait a minute, if this pylon goes down, my goose is cooked. But the second Void Ray's here. He's driven back by the Void Rays, and he can't support that pylon anymore. It goes down. There's no more gates for our boy Astrea. Warp Prism is on the way to try and save the Immortal, but who cares about the Immortal when there are Void Rays in the air?
Yeah, Asuna at home is up in workers, doing very well. Third Void Ray about to pop. He's getting a Robo. It's here. Oh no, that's a Stargate. That's the second Stargate. He's seeing everything. He's seeing the kitchen sink.
Oh, I love this. I love this. So no additional units going to be able to come out from Astrea aside from the Warp Prism and then the next Immortal. Asuna... What the hell? Okay, Asuna.
Have a bit of fun.
He is...
No, he's going to long distance mine free gas because that's what he needs to support us.
This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous here from Asuna. What a build. We saw Scarlet coming in the last game with a bonkers build, and now it's Asuna's turn to show us what he's got. He's going to get that natural down. What do you think the odds are that he goes for a proxy natural hatchery there and grabs a new hatchery so he can shield battery overcharge from the front lines?
I'd be very surprised if he got a hatchery, Creighton Olsen, but Nexus I think is relatively likely. These batteries have no energy. These batteries have no energy. This is Astrea's about to drop his first map.
Yeah. Sorry, Nexus, obviously, not Hatchery. But yeah, as you said, 4 Void Rays, no Immortal, 2 Stalkers left, no Gateways. He's trying to rebuild 1, but he can't do it. Double G! Ladies and gentlemen, Astrea's teammate has found the weakness in his armor, and Asuna is going to take game number 1.
Wow.
Ah, what a wacky build.
Wow. Wow. I'm honestly shook. That was so well planned. So well thought of. Knew that Astrea was going to go Nexus first, which of course is very risky in PvP, like ridiculously. Now, I don't know Asuna too much as a player. I don't know if he's naturally an aggressive, cheesy player, or if what I imagine to be the case is that he's not. And Astrea expected him to play macro, and Astrea just wanted to eke out a lead. Of course, that didn't work, and Astrea died. But Asuna's control was perfect. Wow.
Wow, indeed. What a great opening to our second series here. After a bit of a bop by Scarlet in the previous game, Astrea and Asuna really duking it out as a caster. Selfishly, though, I'm a little disappointed that we have to spend so much time on a match where the players have almost identical names. It makes it very difficult, especially since they're both Alpha X Pro Tour players. But the good news is, Grant, we're getting into game number 2 now. Everdream, LE, these players going for the bog standard, all the normal maps, all the time map choices. And we're going to hop in to game number 2, Asuna, 1 game up over the favorite to win this group, Astrea.
I'm shook, Creighton Olsen. I'm shook.
Is that just because you've had 13 Monster Energy drinks and it's 4 a.m. and you're literally shaking?
No, I've not had any today. Secret time. Monster are sponsoring this event and we love you, Monster. And so I, of course, messaged all of the appropriate channels in order to try and get free Monster. And it worked.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did. Well, let's introduce our players here, Grant. Spawning in that top right-hand position in the red, dropping his first map of DreamHack EU Fall, or DreamHack NA Fall. It is our red Pro Tour player from America and from Alpha X. It's Astrea, who, I'm legally obligated to remind you, has a cool name. Okay, done.
And his opponent in the bottom left, also representing Alpha X, from China, living in Canada where he studies. He is the blue Pro Tour player. He is Cannon Russian. It's Asuna.
Yeah, so earlier you were saying you don't know if Asuna is a normal player or a more aggressive
I know
player.
now.
Yeah, now you know a little bit more about Asuna. He's a player who's not afraid to do this kind of stuff, and I suspect there's a bit of cheek here because he is playing against one of his, one of his teammates. Needs to get the block off. He is. There it is. All 3 pylons going down, and now the first photon cannon should go down on the low ground. But the immediate pull from Astrea is the right call, forcing a pylon on the low ground from Asuna.
And this is the response I like to see. Immediate snappy forge here, so that he can stop too many going up in his main. If you have 1 cannon, it will DPS any cannon that tries to go up. Now, we do see a cannon go down on the low ground, and of course that will give Asuna control of the ramp area if it finishes. Oh, that's so big. So big. Asuna now in a great spot. He's going to gateway block off that probe, but now the forge has finished for Astrea, and as long as he gets a cannon up in his main, pretty sharpish, he should be fine.
There's only 1 Zealot out right now, and there is still that high ground vision pylon, so that's going to force the Zealot over onto the other cannon. 2 cannons going down. Only a few probes here, though, and that Zealot eating a couple shots and now way out of position. Oh, the wall off from Asuna is finished up. As long as this probe stays alive, he is in such good shape.
Yeah, this probe stay alive. Is there any high ground vision left? Does Asuna? Yes.
Astrea loses the Zealot there. That's huge. That means there's no real DPS to go down on this cannon on the high ground. So the second cannon on the high ground is going to finish, and again, it's going to finish before these other cannons finish for Astrea. Yes, so Asuna should have a chance to get a couple shots off.
Yeah, I think it's enough to be able to cancel one of them and then possibly win the 2v1. It's going to be pretty close.
Just get the pylon. Just focus right on the pylon.
Oh my god, there's only 1 pylon powering all of this. There's only one pylon powering all of this. Another one has gone down in the back. If he just targets down the pylon, he wins the game, but he's not. He's targeting the cannon. He's going to get the cannon, but one cannon goes down. Now the pylon unpowers everything, but the second one comes up almost immediately. If he'd have targeted down quicker, we would have had a different matter, I think, here.
Yeah, you couldn't quite get that other pylon, so that's that other photon cannon, which is a bit of a rough spot. But Astrea really struggling under the pressure of this cannon rush. I'm really surprised to see him not responding super well to this push from Asuna. Asuna could possibly move this probe up, maybe try and squeak it by the cannon range and get some more high, because right now he's using that probe for high ground vision, planting it on the ramp there. But it's going to be a long time before this gateway goes down, and the 2 cannons from Astrea will stop anything else from really going in.
Yeah, this push is over. We see a Nexus go down from Asuna. That's the right choice here. But he cannot take any damage, and Astrea's got a probe out. This is so important. Having this probe out allows him, 1, to get scout, 2, to proxy something. Most likely a Stargate. We do see the Stargate going down here for Asuna. I very much like that decision. Oh, he's actually getting a couple more probes. Oh, this is so big, getting a few more probes there. It just went down.
That's huge. That's huge, man. You can't afford to make these kind of losses in such a tight game like this. And now we've got an Adept out already for Asuna. The Adept, of course, doubly pernicious because it gives you high ground vision with the Shade alone. So you can move that Shade on top of a couple other buildings. And he's going to finish the Shade. He's going to lose the Adept, though. That's a huge loss from Asuna. Big mistakes all around. Astrea out with a proxy pylon. Is he going to try and proxy a Stargate? But I bet he's going to get spotted. And Asuna's already got his Stargate almost finished up.
It may just be a gateway. No, it's a robo. Okay, the Stargate's already done, though. Asuna's in such a great spot. He's finally going to be shut down in this position, but his Stargate is done. A Void Ray will be rocking and rolling very, very soon. Asuna has the money to do it. I'm very surprised to see it not start. He needs batteries. He needs Void Rays. Gateway robo. Okay, shield battery. Okay, the Void Ray's on its way. Good. And it should have Chrono going into it. Yes, that's exactly the case. Astrea sees it, though. Astrea sees that there's a robo as well. He's going to try and drop a pylon in the main, and this is what I love. In a game wild, do something wild. Oh god, this is weird. The Void Ray is out. It's going to scout though. It knows. It must know. It doesn't know. It doesn't know.
He's going to grab this probe, but Asuna's a very cautious player. I assume he'll check his base. Oh, don't make a liar out of me, Asuna. Go check your base, buddy. There it is. He is going to go check the base. We'll stop that pylon from going down, but most importantly, it buys him some time. Astrea is going to get that first gateway up, able to warp something in there. Okay. There it is. Okay, able to warp in one Stalker, and the warp prism now on the way. Going to try and put pressure on the front of Asuna's base here.
Probe's being pulled. Yeah, I'm having a little bit of lag here. I forgot words then for a second. But this is okay. Asuna can afford to lose probes. He's still up 10 despite all of this. And if batteries finish, it becomes a different matter. The Void Ray joining the fray. Does it have overcharge? He used it on the pylon. There's a battery. There's an immortal.
There is a battery. There's an immortal as well for Asuna, and there's no immortal out yet for Astrea. Astrea going instead of the Warp Prism first to help micro his units back a little bit. Now, if any player can win this game, it is going to be Astrea. All he has to do now is break Asuna's position, but the Void Ray is here. The Shield Battery Overcharge is available, and there we go. Baits out the Overcharge. The immortal's still alive despite some really good force fields from Asuna, and Astrea actually in a decent position here.
Yeah, Astrea's doing okay, but he can't lose units. He needs every single unit, and he just lost a sentry. May even lose another one. The Prism needs to work overtime here. If a second Immortal comes out, if more Void Rays come out, he can't lose any units. Oh my god, this is so close. All of these units are so battered, though.
So battered, that's for sure. As you said, Asuna 11 workers ahead right now. That does put him significantly ahead. Able to pump out a lot more than Astrea is, and Astrea still dealing with like some pesky supply blocks, trying to rebuild his infrastructure back home. Whereas, of course, Asuna's infrastructure is still in a pretty good spot here. Good focus fire on the Warp Void Ray is going to go down. Second Void Ray still out, though. Second Void Ray going to go down. The Immortal's still alive, though. The Immortal's going to go down soon. Oh my god, the second Immortal still here. Second Immortal on the high ground. That's huge. But the Void Rays are now gone, which means that the Warp Prism has a little bit more mobility.
Yeah, now, there was a small move command here from Asuna that allowed his Immortals to take a little bit too much damage. We have another Void Ray about to pop, and that's going to secure the position. There's also a cannon here, and that sort of shuts down the Prism a little bit. It can't get too close because, of course, it will get cannoned into oblivion. All of these Stalkers still very battered, very bruised. Supplies favour Asuna, but most of that right now is in Workers. Workers could be pulled off the line. Every unit right now crucial, but I mean, once we get to 4 Immortals, 2 Void Rays, that's too much.
There's no Warp Prism out for Asuna, though. A Force Field on the ramp could end this man's whole career. He's got to be so cautious with those Void Rays to try and drive the Warp Prism back so they can't get close enough. If he could snipe these sentries, that'd be a big, big win, even though it doesn't seem like too much. Next Void Ray coming out, another Immortal on the way.
High ground vision here from Astrea. Of course, Astrea still trying to expand behind this. Desperately, there's a prism from Astrea. The prism from Astrea even is now moved over towards the east side of the main. There's nothing in the main, so these adepts are going to go to town, find a lot of damage. This is exactly what Astrea needs. This game hangs on a knife's edge right now. Of course, the Nexus has been scouted. Asuna knows exactly what position he's in. If he can just kill some of these units, every unit he kills so big. But the overcharge on the... Oh my god, there's no prism here.
Prism's not here, which is going to allow Asuna to push forward here and maybe get that forward pylon down. If the pylon goes down, this game is practically over. Astrea trying to be cute and draw Asuna into the main base, but unfortunately he loses that front base, which he simply cannot lose. And now we see the Void Ray already here on that Warp Prism. The Warp Prism needs to get Focus Fire down. These probes can be saved off the line, but once the Warp Prism is gone, this game is over.
Yeah, the Prism has managed to escape for now. These adepts are going to go down. They do shade into the natural, but they're going to take damage from the cannon, from the Immortals that are just raining down fire on these adepts. Adept 1 will fall. Okay, they get saved, but there's a Phoenix that can chase it.
Yep, going to force the recall, and now Asuna needs to go straight across the map.
Yeah.
He cannot afford to let Astrea... Pardon me, Asuna needs to go straight across the map. He cannot afford to let Astrea wait. The army supply hugely in Asuna's favor, and look at the units tab right now. 3 Immortals, 3 Void Rays against nothing but gateway units from Astrea. Asuna, what are you doing?
He's going to send the Voids, but keep the Immortals at home. He doesn't know his position. Of course, the wall at the front is substantial. It's all batteries and cannons. Gateways being added here from Asuna, who's had so much more money for so much longer. In terms of resources lost, he's also ahead. He just needs to find... I don't know. I'm really, really unsure now. 5 gateways on the way. Asuna's going to go. But he wants to go with more than what he has. Yeah, he goes.
Yeah, I think he's going to wait for the... because he's got the Warp Prism, so he's going to wait for these gateways to finish, get 1 or 2 rounds of Warp Ins, and really just go nuts here. Double Stargate for Astrea, that's a huge mistake. He does not... He doesn't have enough time to get those Stargates really going. I mean, what's he going to do? Try and crank out some counter Void Rays? I just don't think that's going to work, man. No. And we're going to see Asuna pushing across now. The Void Rays, rather, marrying up with the Warp Prism and the Immortals. A couple more gateway units should be able to break him.
This is 5 gate, I believe. Yeah, 5 gate here from Asuna. Up against just 2 gates of his opponent, maybe 4 gate even. But there's also the Void Rays. There's the Immortals. He's going to be able to force field the ramp. He's going to be able to force field so much. This is going to be a micro battle for the ages, I think. Asuna, you have so much.
I think he's worried about that wall. And I'd be a little bit worried too. It's a very strong wall. 4 cannons, 2 shield batteries. But yeah, he's going to take a third behind this and try and macro his way, continue to macro his way out of this. Man, I don't know. I think your advantage against Astrea is going to diminish as the game goes on. Astrea is such a strong player, especially in the late game. And if you've got this wacky advantage on him right now, why not go for it, man? He's going for Phoenix. You're allowing him time for these Stargates to actually work. And I hate to admit it, but Astrea now finding his footing a little bit more here in this game, Grant, and he's going to drop a third of his own. Oh, my God, what a roller coaster.
Yeah, most importantly, he's producing double Stargate Phoenix and +1 air weapons. There's not going to be an answer for these. There is a Templar Archives going down, and there's a lot of gas for Asuna. So he can make 3.5 Archons. No, 2.5 Archons, which will be very good. They can't be lifted by the Phoenixes, but the Phoenix count is already up to, 6? Very soon to be 8 with +1. And that's going to be able to shred through the Void Rays, lift up the Immortals, that core, that important core of his army. All of this is liftable except these bad boys. These are going to end up being crucial. He needs maybe a couple more, though.
Yeah, not a lot that fires upward right now, for sure. And that's going to be concerning. Nice scout by Astrea, sees the entire army composition, knows the Archons are on the way. I love the +1 done for Asuna. Astrea has +1 air weapons, though, and these Phoenixers can try and get into as much damage as they possibly can. The Archon's going to be bounced back. I don't think the Archon can actually get in to save that. I think there's a full wall right now for Asuna into his own base.
Yeah.
And these Phoenix have got to be very cautious, though. They can't afford to get caught by these Void Rays, and here we go. Oh, no, the Void Ray's going to go down. Actually, the Phoenix is getting a better part of that trade.
Yeah. This is all about the angle. The Phoenix just need to avoid and dance around the Archons. If they manage to do that, also there's an Adept in the natural. It's just, I mean...
Be here all day.
Okay, we do have a warp in. Asuna moving out. He has so many Immortals though. The ground force will be so heavily in favor of our Chinese-Canadian player. Oh my god, a few Phoenixes I think just went down immediately. 1.
Yeah, you can't afford to make those. You can't afford to fly those Phoenix over those Archons. It's an immediate death sentence for him. And now with 5 Archons out protecting these Immortals, he doesn't want the Immortals to get picked up. So of course the Phoenix are going to be driven away, and another Phoenix does go down here. Grant, this is looking really rough. Astrea is going to have to fight very hard at this third base with an army that he's not ready to really fight against. So many Immortals.
The Immortals are the crux here of Astrea's forces. He just has nothing that can fight Immortals. This base is getting ravaged. All of the workers will go down. The Archons in the front just offering so much support, so much tankiness. And you can see the army starting to dissipate here for Astrea. 70 to 35 army supply. Double here for Asuna. Is Asuna going to be able to take the upset? Is Asuna going to be the first player to defeat Astrea in a series? Not even that. The first player to take a map. Oh, this is getting very, very wild.
What the hell is Asuna doing right now, Grant?
I don't have a fucking clue.
Is he chasing Phoenix? Asuna, listen to me, buddy. I know you can't hear me, and we're on a 2-minute delay, so this is no way competitive. Okay, ouch, ouch.
That's what he was doing.
No, you can't expect to get lucky and get those Phoenix killed.
Yep.
That's a mistake, man. Astrea goes out, takes out the forward pylon for Asuna. Asuna going back home, grabbing a 4th base now to continue to macro his way out of this. He's getting +2, which is great, but man, his army is already terrifying, Grant. He just needs to go.
Weird.
I guess he's being cautious, but I don't like giving Astrea time.
It's something that happens a lot when you're playing someone that, I mean, I would say Astrea was a favorite in this series. Maybe a couple of people disagree with me.
No question.
Yeah, but when you play against someone who is considered better than you, or the favorite, you just, oh my god, please attack move, fucking hell. You just don't expect to win, and sometimes you're like, okay, I can't be that ahead because I'm playing someone that's much better, and you can't close. ABC, Creighton, always be closing.
Did you actually watch that movie?
Nope.
Dang it, Grant, come on, man. Anyway, it's fine. You can still make the reference. It's okay. The Phoenix going to get a probe kill, which is great. It draws Astrea only 12 probes behind now instead of more. The Phoenix out now for Asuna, but he's only working on 1 Stargate right now, so it's going to take a while for him to build up. Asuna should be putting on pressure right now. Those Immortals have been sitting back home doing nothing since their big fight across the map, and I'm really worried for Asuna that Astrea is going to find some sneaky way to come back in this, and look at what he's building back home. That would be a sneaky way to come back in this game.
Yeah, but there's cannons everywhere, right?
Sorry, I lied. I said Asuna was building 1 Phoenix at a time. He's building 4 Phoenix at a time from 4 Stargates. I miscounted there. Sorry.
Oh my god, what is this game? There's actually 4 Stargates. I don't even know. He's getting his fleet beacon. So both players getting their fleet beacon so they can get most likely Phoenix range. We may see Flux Veins come in as well. That Void Ray speed for Astrea, because does he even have Phoenixes left? He has 5, okay. I don't know what's happening anymore. Oh my god, this game just keeps getting weirder.
It definitely does. We'll take odds in the chat right now. What are the odds that Asuna ever sees that base in the entire game? I'm going to give it 10 to 1. Not going to find it.
I'll take it 10 to 1.
Wow, all right. If I had any British money, I'd give it to you, but I don't. Because right now, Asuna's going in. I don't think he's going to spot it because he's not going to need to. The Void Ray eating a couple shots here, and there are lots and lots of Phoenix. Shield battery overcharge going down, but it's not going to do too much because that battery is going to go down right away. And the Phoenix versus Phoenix Wars is going to go in favor of Asuna.
He's done it. I'm really glad I didn't take you on that bet. Oh my god, don't pull probes in Narcos.
DTs.
DTs.
You're kidding me.
Oh my god.
Not a single observer on the map right now. The Robo cranking one out. Carrier's coming down, but DT's going to buy Astrea just a little more time.
I'm having a breakdown.
I've noticed.
I'm having a breakdown. It's just about to turn midnight here in the UK. I got up at 6 a.m. Oh. Okay.
The carrier transition from Asuna looks really good here. He's already working on +2 air weapons, so he's even ahead on the upgrades for Astrea. Astrea had +1 air weapons before him, but it's fairly even now for Asuna. And he's going to be ahead quite soon because, of course, Astrea can't afford as many upgrades as Asuna can. Asuna way ahead in the income graph there. 5 bases, whereas Astrea is just getting that 4th finished up. The 4th is a ninja base, and it's not going to be as good.
It's been finished for a while, and he's finally making a probe. I'm actually losing my mind. Okay, there's a good amount of cannons here. 2 cannons and a battery, probably not enough, but if a warp-in comes in, this should be completely fine here for Asuna. He needs to see this very, very quickly and react to it. Cannon 1 will go down. There we go. Overcharge immediately. Zealots warp in. Of course, the DTs are very much known, and that's that dealt with. That's another thing dealt with. There's already, what, 3 carriers out? There's soon to be a 4th. Please, Asuna. Please. Please go.
Asuna's making a big mistake here, trying to chase down units.
Oh my god, I'm canning one.
He's wasting a lot of time trying to chase down units, Grant. We saw it earlier with the Phoenix in this game, and now we see with the DTs where he spent 10-20 seconds with his army following that other army across the map, and it's just not paying off for him. He's finally going to engage with this army, and it looks like the third base from Astrea going to be under assault.
Assault, I think, is the understatement of the century. There's carriers, there's phoenixes, there's archons, there's immortals, there's stalkers, there's charge zealots, there's everything a Protoss could dream of, and I will be dreaming of it tonight. DT's trying to come in, but this time there's observers, my friend. Oh my god, although they're a bit far forward, be careful. Finally, 120 supply lead. Asuna beats Astrea